So the Suns get Jalen Green, they get Dillon Brooks, they get some picks. I say that to say this. That's a good package. But the Miami Heat were, quote unquote, according to the reports, at the finish line to secure KD this offseason in their third, fourth, fifth. I mean, who's counting attempt to bring Kevin Durant to South Florida?
It's close to the end. It's close to mission accomplished.
Right.
You're posing for pictures at the marathon.
This is a photo
and you're saying
finish.
hello to the people.
Yeah. It's a photo finish, right? Between the Heat and the Rockets.
Well, it turned out to be one, but in the moment, it wasn't like the reports where there's a current bidding war going on right now between Houston and Miami. No, the only report was about Miami being at the finish line.
They said the Heat had it. And the Suns end up going with the deal from the Rockets, and I can't blame them. Do you know what would have helped sweeten the deal for Miami?
What?
Maybe a lottery pick. Maybe a lottery pick this year like the Rockets had. It's not like Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks is much better than what the Heat could have packaged to get KD. But the difference between what the Heat had, everybody want to bring up, they didn't want to part ways with Khalil Ware and Jaime Jaquez Jr., whatever the hell. That's all semantics. The real reason why the Heat don't have Kevin Durant right now is because you short-sighted idiots, you short-sighted fools, fanatics. I'm proud of you for rooting for your team. But you were so happy for the Heat to, look at them. They gutted their way through the play-in and made it to the playoffs. Only to get to a chance to beat, the Cleveland Cavaliers. That's a team you might be able to tussle with if you're a feisty team coached by Eric Spoelstra. Remind me what happened in that series, C-Cat.
They
first round.
Got swept in epic proportions.
They got swept in unprecedented proportions. Widest point differential in a sweep in the history of the NBA playoffs.
No one ever's been beaten that bad, and no one maybe ever will.
I don't think they will. It was non-competitive. In fact, they came back to Miami and they really wiped the flow with the Heat. That was the most disappointing part about it. Is you get your tail whipped to Cleveland a couple games. You're like, all right, we'll get one in Miami. We'll steal one. We'll at least look competitive. No, they beat us by like 45 to close it out. So you sneak into the playoffs. Congratulations, Heat fans. You did it against my will. And I'm happy that my team showed that fight. Evan Cohen, you hear him on Unsportsmanlike, 6 to 10 a.m. He was rooting for it, cheering for it. Our guy JMP here. Jay Martin, everybody in Heat culture, Heat Nation, rooting for the win. They got in, and it was literally just – it was probably the worst thing that could have happened to the Heat this year. It was. It was actually the worst thing that could have happened to the Heat this year because two things happened in that moment, C-Cat. Not only did the Heat lose their chance at a lottery pick, quote unquote. You know what position they would have been? Had they lost in the play-in, do you know what position they would be in this upcoming NBA draft?
Surely it wasn't number one overall with generational prospect Cooper Flagg.
So now this offseason, because you got a couple of measly wins in the play-in against some middling franchises, the Chicago Bulls, who you couldn't beat in the regular season every time you played, but somehow you mustered out a win when it mattered least. So now, because of what you did, I feel like a father talking to his kids right now. It's like I'm not angry, I'm disappointed. The Heat sold out. This offseason, they could have been deciding, hey, do we want to keep the pick and select Cooper Flagg, or do we want to leverage it in a deal for Giannis or Kevin Durant? Instead, the Heat are just like your buddy in college who you know what I'm saying. I mean, he did fair with the ladies here and there, but every time y'all would go out to the club and y'all be sitting at the bar ordering your double rums and Cokes, and you look across the bar and it's a group of young ladies over there and they looking kind of good, and you see one of them maybe giving you the eye. Your buddy looks over and he's like, man, yeah, they look good. And you're like, well, go over there and talk to him then. Oh, yeah, I will. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get to it. I just want to get one more drink. Well, the bartender's taking too long to make the drink. I don't want to go over there yet. I'll go over there in like 10 or 15 minutes. We'll get to it. That's going to happen. Making up excuses. Oh, I got to use the restroom. I'm going to run to use the restroom and come back. Let me know if they make their way over here. That's Pat Riley right now. That's the Miami Heat every single offseason since we got Jimmy Butler, who really came to us, that's a D-Wade recruitment that worked out. The Heat missed out on Kevin Durant. They missed out on Cooper Flagg. They missed out on Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm calling it before it even happens. Don't even get your hopes up. I saw an article that came out that's like, well, now how can the Heat shift their focus to Giannis? Why? Why would I even care about any headline about the Heat chasing a superstar going forward here? They don't want it. They don't. I'm out. But congrats to the Rockets.
So what are the Heat afraid of? Are they afraid of
losing Jaime Jaquez Jr.?
The experiment's gone wrong where you sell out for a superstar? Are they afraid of Kevin Durant becoming the Paul George trade or one of the Paul George trades?
Right,
Any one of them, pick your choice. The Brooklyn Nets experiment in Brooklyn where they went and got Harden, KD, Kyrie, and it never surmounted to anything of substance. Are they afraid of those results and are okay with being middling and then maybe eventually drafting for unrealized potential?
No, because they don't want to do anything to improve their draft picks either.
So they won't mortgage their future in order to trade up to a lottery pick.
Honestly, it's a good question you ask, C-Cat, because Pat Riley has shown himself to be one of the most competitive dudes in the history of sport.
This got to be killing
player,
him.
coach, and an executive. Yeah.
The past 2 seasons have had to hurt dearly after the success that the organization has become used to.
I wonder if I don't know if it's hubris. I don't know if he's been so successful and so great at his job, and I'm not questioning. Maybe he thinks that there's nothing left in the tank for KD, right? But it happened with Lillard. It happened with Harden. It happened with KD multiple times. Who else? I'm trying to think of the other stars that were rumored to be Heat targets and didn't work out. It happened with Giannis before, and it's going to happen with Giannis again this offseason. Happened with Kyrie Irving for more reasons than one. That was probably more intentional. There's no making sense out of it. There's no way that Khalil Ware and Jaime Jaquez Jr., you believe so strongly in their futures that was the reason you don't bring a guy in who's been averaging 25 points a game for the past 28 years. That you don't bring a guy in who can clearly walk into the room and be the only bucket getter on this team that you can rely on in the postseason. We've seen I love me some Tyler Hero. Great dude. We've seen Tyler Hero as the number one option in the playoffs, not once but twice. Both times, we might as well have been out there, C-Cat.
Yeah.
What did he get in that elimination game? Like, I think it was single digits this past year when the Heat got mollywopped. There's no making sense out of it. There's no making sense out of it. For the Heat right now, they are turning into the Pittsburgh Steelers of the NBA. And I've been saying that since they made the play-in tournament. They are the Pittsburgh Steelers of the NBA. One of the most respected organizations, championship-winning coach, considered a top 3 coach by anybody you ask, and by many people, the best coach in the industry. Eric Spoelstra to Mike Tomlin.
Stable
organization. Smart organization. An organization that overachieves year after year after year, despite what's on their roster. But it's almost like their success gets in the way of their future. They value short-term success over the long-term contending they could be doing. The Steelers, all of these non-losing seasons by Mike Tomlin put you in a position where you had to bank your 2025 season on a 42-year-old quarterback who last year won 5 games with a better supporting cast than what you're delivering in a worse division than what he's entering. And a guy that didn't even want to show up for the voluntary camp stuff. Clearly doesn't prioritize football like he used to. I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers if you haven't peeped.
The Heat are functioning alcoholics. They're never going to hit rock bottom, so they'll never get better.
That's true.
They will never cut cold turkey, realize the second half of their life might be better than they ever could have dreamed because they're never going to hit rock bottom. They'll always be, at least the prospective future. Listen, you have titles in the past. It's happened. It can happen. You've gotten that big promotion at your job.
Oh, man.
But the plateau looks inevitable unless something changes, whether it's a change of attitude. It looks like a functioning alcoholic organization.
I wonder if the thing that can save Miami is somehow, some way, getting who has been the best recruiter for Miami Heat off-season moves in the past 5 years, Dwayne Wade, back into the fold of Heat culture. Maybe that's the curse of the Miami Heat right now, is almost like him not being here. We got the statue going, right? We're a step in the right direction, but maybe he needs to have an actual real job in that front office like Alonzo Mourning, like Udonis Haslem. Like maybe the Miami Heat would benefit from bringing Dwayne Wade into the fold, but I don't know.